Oh, what are you guys, what are you doing here? It's a little earlier this week. I didn't expect you to be here this early. You caught me at a bad time. So I guess, this reminds me of a time when I actually got to go into Disneyland a bit early. That's true, this last visit. I think we should revisit that. I think you should go watch that instead, because I'm busy right now, sleeping and doing my morning things. Listen, if I tell you the story of the time I got to go into Disneyland early and give you 10 absolutely real, 100% no lies, don't look them up facts about Disneyland, will you leave me alone for the rest of the morning? Do we have an agreement on that? Oh, I sure hope we do. I can't hear you because it's a video, so stay here. I'm gonna go do my thing. It is, yet again, another rainy day here at Disneyland. But what better way to chase off the rainy day blues than to hunt for some secret facts, some history, some knowledge about this beautiful resort, about this beautiful park that we call Disneyland. Looks like no one has the same idea as me to rope drop Disneyland on a day like today. I figured what better place to start on this early entry type day than in Tomorrowland, one of the only two lands that is open during early entry. If you can't tell, I'm already soaked. Our first fun fact that is totally real and not actually made up or fake in any way brings us to Tomorrowland, land of Star Tours and Astro Blasters. Specifically over here to these murals on the wall, you can see a nice little transition between Buzz and Space Mountain here with these Space Ranger ships piloting toward the space stations from Space Mountain. But did you know underneath these panels lies a different kind of mural? That's right, a mural based solely on the old, abandoned People Mover. Here you can see the original People Mover mural was exposed during a brief refurbishment in the year 1982. You can see it right there. It's the People Mover. Why would I lie to you on this channel? I'm here to spread truthful Disney facts, okay? You see, before Buzz was here, it was the cue for the rocket rods, right? The rocket rods being the attraction that broke the People Mover. So, as a sort of transition between the People Mover / rocket rods and Space Mountain, that mural used to feature a People Mover instead of the Space Ranger ships that are flying through space now. Just a memory of what could have been, and honestly, what should be. All right, on to the next one. You know, the best part about being a single person during early entry at either Disneyland or Disney World is being able to ride single rider on most of the big attractions, or at least Space Mountain here. So you get to walk past Space Mountain and have almost the entirety of the park to yourself. Take a look at there's the monorail, the submarine voyage, and then peace and quiet. My favorite kind of crowd at Disneyland or Disney World, the absence of a crowd. All right, number 9. Number 9 on our totally factual list of Disneyland facts brings us to the Matterhorn Bob Sleds. Look at that beautiful bridge. Attention to detail. They didn't have to make that bridge, but they did. That's the Disney difference. Ah yes, the Matterhorn Bob Sleds. One of the first, if not the first, steel tubular roller coaster with more than 8 inversions in the world. That's right, you heard it correctly. More than 8 inversions. That means it has 9 inversions. No, in fact, number 9 brings us to Edelweiss Snacks. This little snack shack where you can mobile order. If you come around the back side of Edelweiss Snacks, you arrive at this little sort of protrusion into this lake. A no smoking protrusion, if you will. This used to be the queue and dock for the motorboat cruise. Some people use their early entry to ride Space Mountain or, Matterhorn or the Fantasyland Dark Rides. Me, I use my early entry to come look at an empty motorboat cruise dock. on a rainy day. Now, what is so interesting about the motorboat cruise, Doc? Well, the motorboat cruise was actually the first steel tubular motorboat cruise type attraction in the world. Everyone knows the Matterhorn for being the first steel tubular roller coaster in the world. This, the motorboat cruise, the lake right behind me, was the first steel tubular motorboat cruise in the world. That's true, you can look it up. I'm not lying, you can look that up. It's on Wikipedia somewhere, edited by me probably. So just remember, next time you grab a bite to eat from Edelweiss Snacks over there and you come out onto this dock, look around. You are dining atop a piece of Disneyland history, a piece of roller coaster history that not too many people know still exists. And if you look into the water, some say on very rainy days, you can still see and echo a little faint hint of that steel tube that once drove these motorboats across this pond many, many years ago. Okay, number 8. Our next fact brings us to the Fantasyland Theater, a theater where they show shows of fancy, like the former Mickey and the Magical Map show, Festival or Tale of the Lion King. I get confused because I've seen the other one at Animal Kingdom, but here is the future location of the Avatar experience at Disneyland. Now, why is that a fake fact and not just, speculation? It's because no one can prove it. I'm gonna say it's a fake fact. I'm gonna say this is confirmed. I have a great feeling that this is going to be the future site of Flight of Passage and a 300-minute wait. Now, how, you ask, would they make it a cohesive transition between Toontown, Small World, and Pandora? Well, I'm glad you asked. They probably won't. Think about it. Doesn't make any sense. But that is true. They will be making this, what is behind me right now, Pandora, the world of Avatar, here at Disneyland. Just thought I'd sneak a little speculation into this this facts video. Moving on, number 7. You didn't even give me that wasn't even that long. That was like what, 3 entries? I'm gonna need longer than that to get ready for the next video. And 3 entries, come on, what are you on, number 8? Talk to me when you're on number 5 or something, please. Just go back to the fake facts. I'll get back with you when I can, please. I mean the real facts. Our next fact brings us to a cute, fun little Fantasyland. Not necessarily the Magic Tea Party, but Fantasyland nonetheless. More specifically to Storybook Land, and the Storybook Land canal boats. You see, these canal boats are very different from when they opened on opening day. They're an opening day attraction, 1955, you can look that up, that's actually true. Here, we see Monstro the whale. We dove into his mouth, or dive into his mouth, on a daily basis. But did you know, on opening day, this Monstro was very, very different. You see, on opening day, this Monstro right here was very different. Instead of riding through Monstro's mouth into the worlds of Disney, miniaturized, shrunken down, to be a bit more bite-sized, a bit more palatable to the young children out there. Storybook Land was actually a ride through Monstro's gastrointestinal tract. That's right, you would go down his throat into his esophagus, stomach, small and then large intestine before being pooped out at the back or the beginning of the attraction. Unfortunately, guests didn't like this version of the attraction too much. So as time went on, they changed the attraction. They changed Storybook Land to be more about the miniatures, the miniature Disney scenes, villages, and characters. You no longer go on a journey through Monstro's digestive system. Although for those intrepid explorers out there scouring the depths of Daveland, you may find some pictures, some remnants of the journey through Monstro's intestinal tract on Daveland. It's only on Daveland, by the way. Go check it out. Maybe one day we'll see the return of Journey into Monstro, but for now, we'll have to make do with tiny Disney villages. I can't blame the guy though, look at him. He's exhausted. He doesn't want tourists going through his mouth anymore. Give the poor guy a break. Our next fact brings us through Fantasyland, out the other side onto Big Thunder Trail, into Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Wait, this fact brings us to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, to the planet of Batuu, based on a location that you may be familiar with. As we walk through Batuu, you may notice some things that are a bit familiar from other parts of the park, like, say, Main Street USA. like the ground that you can walk on, or buildings that you can not really enter but look at. That's because Star Wars Galaxy's Edge takes inspiration from Walt Disney's hometown, Marceline, Missouri. That's right, Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri. See, look, that's Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, where Walt would go to buy his animation materials to draw Mickey Mouse when he was just a kid. And here, up on the right, is Ronto Roasters, where Walt would pick up his lunch before heading down to the studio in Marceline, Missouri to talk to all the animators about the strike that they're doing and how they shouldn't be doing it. A little piece of Disneyland and Disney history here in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You've heard of the bazaar? Well, this bazaar is based off of the ones that Walt would go to as a kid in Marceline to buy, cloaks, star speeders, and hats. You got awnings and the Black Spire. I think it's an obelisk, actually. Just a really cool way to pay homage to the man who started it all. And of course, who could forget the famous Marceline, Missouri Black Spire Mountains. It's beautiful. I'm really jealous that Walt got to grow up in such an amazing place. All right. Okay, next fact, right? Next fact, I think. Oh Lord. The rain has certainly upped its intensity, for sure. That being said, I'm actually having a pretty good time. There is no lines, no waits. So if you want a short wait time at Disneyland, if you want to visit when it's empty, if you want good shots of the castle, visit when it's a torrential downpour. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Your shoes will be wet and your socks will be wet, but your spirit will be dry. Yeah, the next fact brings us back to Fowler's Harbor, by or near the Mark Twain, which is currently under construction. It's completely empty back here. No one comes back here because there's nothing to do back here. It's currently blocked off. Our next fact is directly to the left of Fowler's Inn. You can see a little sign here next to a yellow door that says Ship Handler, Ezekiel Talbot. Now, the name Ezekiel Talbot doesn't mean anything but Ship Chandler up at the top. Now that does. Now, if you've watched my SEA videos in the past, you know about Jason Chandler, a member of the SEA. You can find his name tag on some luggage over by Big Thunder Mountain, but that sign right there, Ship Chandler, Chandler is a reference to Jason Chandler, a member of the SEA, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. It's pretty cool. You didn't, I wouldn't at least expect a sign referencing SEA back here in New Orleans Square, especially by Fowler's Inn. So a little cool piece of trivia there if you're looking for a little touch of SEA in New Orleans Square, right by Fowler's Harbor, the Ship Chandler sign. The ship is the Mark Twain, but Chandler might have something to do with it. I'm not sure. That's a real fact, though. You can look that up. Now, I don't know about you, but this sign is making me feel kind of Chandlery. Oh, hey, so you're still a little bit early. It's not quite time for the video yet, although I do appreciate your optimism. I don't know why you don't want to watch the top 10. You'd rather watch me get ready for a video that's coming out next week, not even the one that you're watching. So why don't you go ahead and get back to the real facts about Disneyland. I'm gonna set it for the next video here. Don't worry, you'll be able to see it when it goes live. Just focus on the task at hand right now, okay? Just focus on the video. Now for our final facts, we are actually leaving Disneyland. We are exiting through Main Street, USA right now. Now many of you may know the Disneyland test wall, but many of you may not know what the tests were for. Back by the lockers on Main Street, USA, you'll find this nondescript water fountain surrounded by bricks of all different shapes, sizes, and shapes. It's a weird looking brick right here. Now this is commonly known as the Disneyland test wall, but not a lot of people know that they call it the test wall because this wall was used in the testing of the very first atomic bomb in Los Alamos. So the reason why the brickwork on the right-hand side is different from the brickwork on the left-hand side is because the right-hand side was affected by nuclear radiation. Yes, that's true, and it's still deadly to this day. So the next time you're walking down Main Street USA by the lockers and you visit the Disneyland test wall, just be careful. Don't stand around it too long, or else you will grow a third eye. Maybe a third arm, maybe a fourth ear. if you already have 3 ears. Listen, I'm not one to judge. Number 3 on our list, I think, calls for a bit of a change of scenery, so join me as I hop from Disneyland to California Adventure. Next up, we are underneath the Silly Symphony swings, engaging in some Lunar New Year festivities just for magic key holders. Which means me, I'm a magic key holder, so there's my photo op right there, got that out of the way. It's actually a really cool backdrop. But the next little tidbit of information I want to share has to do with not the Silly Symphony swings above me, but actually the Golden Zephyr currently in front of me. This fun fact, did you know that the Golden Zephyr actually is only open 1 day a year every year, and they don't tell the cast members or the guests when the attraction will be open. That's right. It's only open for about 3 hours on 1 day out of the year. So if you're lucky enough to see the Golden Zephyr moving about, spinning while you're here, you may as well get in line because this is the rarest attraction to see operating at a Disney park. The sad part is that's only kind of a fake fact. The Golden Zephyr hardly ever moves, and when it does, you gotta use that as an opportunity. You gotta get on. Listen to the screams of terror coming from the fun wheel, the pal around. It's anything but fun. That's not the Incredicoaster. That's not screams from the Incredicoaster. Those are screams from the pal around. Nope, today is not our lucky day. Golden Zephyr doesn't seem to be moving. Maybe next time. All right, that's enough California Adventure. Let's get out of here. It's making me feel too Californian. I want to feel like I'm at Disney. It's much better. Much more in my element. The next one. Much better. Much more in my element. The next entry on our list takes us to Main Street, USA, the gateway to Disneyland and all of its many, many lands. But not down Main Street. We're going to stay at the front. You'll find yourself a churro cart in front of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and immediately upon finding that, you want to turn left. You'll come face to face with a real cannon. Now this cannon is screen used in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. That's right, the original Star Wars. That was the cannon Luke Skywalker used to kill Darth Vader at the very beginning of Star Wars 4. If you remember Star Wars 4, at the beginning, Luke Skywalker uses the cannon to kill Darth Vader. It's real. Really makes you think, huh? That is something you can look up. That is factual. Just a little piece of movie history here on Main Street, USA. Now we can finally finish our journey to the end of Main Street, USA, because our final fact takes us back to where we started the day, Tomorrowland. I mean Tomorrowland. There we go. That's a bit more epic, right? That looks a bit cooler. All the way down the main promenade to the former People Mover loading station. There it is. How gorgeous, how beautiful. Now, the last fake fact I have for you may put a damper on your spirits, or it may uplift them, depending on who you are. I am of the opinion that this People Mover right here, this People Mover, will reopen very, very soon. I think it's only a matter of time before the Disneyland People Mover, there it is, reopens to the public. I have faith. I actually have faith that this year at D23 Expo, the People Mover will make its return and everyone will finally say, yes, we can move people around Disneyland once again. That is the final fake, totally real fact that I have to share with you today. The People Mover will return. And honestly, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before we can move people again. And I'm looking forward to it. Well, everyone, thank you for following me through the park talking about my favorite totally real Disney facts that I researched and looked up and did not make up. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Now I'm going to cut to the end card. See, now that's better, right? We're all fresh, we're all ready to go, ready to talk about whatever comes next on this channel, whatever attraction I decide to talk about next. And if you can't judge by what's going on behind me, I'm always talking about either Pirates of the Caribbean, People Movers, something at Epcot, or the Haunted Mansion. And next week, we're actually going to be talking about the Haunted Mansion once again, and not the absolute chaos that is going on with its queue right now. Have you seen those pictures? It's crazy. They're tearing it up. No, but we are talking about the Haunted Mansion, and I look forward to seeing you all there. And now, like past me said, we are going to go to the end card, because the end card has to happen, so it's down here. Hey there everyone, thank you for watching this video on 10 Disney facts that are absolutely true. You can look them up on any website you want to. It will back me up. Everything that I said in this video is 100% true. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new around these parts and do you want more videos like this from the parks, hit the subscribe button. I will keep them coming. Trust me, they'll be on there. There's more on the way. The names that you see on the left side of your screen right now are the names of all of my supporters over at patreon.com/offhanddisney. They are the ones who help me make these videos from the parks. They help me be able to go physically to Disneyland and Disney World and film these for you. Very, very awesome people, and a huge thank you to them. And if you want to join their ranks, even just $1 a month will get you access to most of the perks. Like, they got to watch this video way earlier than the rest of the general populace on YouTube did. So if that sounds interesting to you, again, link is in the description. But if you would like to follow me for free on social media without paying $1, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Those are my other social media accounts that I post to actually increasingly now, especially on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. I'm trying those out, so keep an eye out for those. And I think that actually might be it. Subscribe, Patreon, social media. Yeah, that appears to be it, everybody. That is the end of this week's video. I do truly hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to do something from the park, but I gotta put my own spin on it. You know what I mean? I'm just talking now because I have to give all of my Patreons time to shine, right? You have to appreciate these people above me. So thank you all again to the Patreons, and thank you for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, which, yes, will be about the Haunted Mansion. I am very, very excited for you all to see it. Goodbye.